believe it or not, women might find you out of their league if you are a fit and sexually attractive man. We don't hear about this paradigm too often because of the reason that young ladies are, well, they're very good at hiding their attraction for men. That is why it is very hard for men to tell sometimes if a woman is even attracted to him, even if she is making it obvious. And when I say obvious, I mean in a woman's way, not, not in an obvious way, but in a woman's version of an obvious way, meaning she might be flirting with you or throwing subtle signs and maybe asking you questions and smiling and twirling her hair and shit like that, or just, lingering around you, things of that nature. But the other reason, that men don't really hear about this is, like I said, they're not really gonna show it. They're not gonna lead onto it. See, men, we're like open books, dude. If we think a chick is out of our league, we're gonna first of all try to talk to her, if we even do, because a lot of guys, they just avoid it altogether. But if they do, the dude is gonna be stuttering and he's gonna be all clumsy and slipping all over his words, things of that nature. And on top of that, he's gonna be talking about how he thinks she's out of his league. So she's gonna kind of get wind of it. She's gonna know. Okay, women are extremely intuitive. Now, a dude, if a chick thinks that he's out of her league, either two things are gonna happen. One, she's gonna be shy herself, right? But she's still gonna be playing it cool, right? She's still gonna be playing it cool. She's not gonna really be too stumbly with her words. She's not gonna be like too obvious like a guy. Now, obviously, like I said, she's gonna be kind of shy, and you might pick up that she is kind of shy when she gets around you. You're gonna pick it up, but it's very subtle. It's very subtle. It's not like how men, we're kind of obvious with it. We're taught as men, if you want something, you need to go get it. Okay, and let me say this real quick, fellas, before I even start this. If a chick is playing like quote unquote hard to get, and she just making shit just difficult because somewhere along the line she was like trained or read some sort of stupid ass dating strategy book to make a man bend over backwards and all that crap, do not deal with her, right? This is another video. But sometimes they're genuinely shy. They're truly and genuinely shy, just like guys are. Dude, like, a lot of guys find that hard to fucking believe. Like, oh no, if she's super attracted to you, she's gonna be super upfront about it. Yes, I do agree, especially online. Okay, now we're talking about online. Why do people have more nuts online? Pause. But why are people more brave, or why are they just more open to DMing somebody or something like that online? Simple. It's not as abrasive. It's not as confrontational as going up to somebody or being with somebody face to face. You're online, you could just type some bullshit in and send it. Okay? In real life though, it's different. It's more intimidating. Okay? And the second thing that a lot of chicks are gonna do is, like I kind of just alluded to just now with the whole I'm gonna make him chase me and I'm gonna play hard to get thing. They're gonna intentionally act like dickheads toward you. Okay? They're gonna intentionally act rude and kind of act passive towards you, and you'll get the feeling. As humans, both men and women, we have our sixth sense, I believe. Now, I'm not a doctor. I know I fooled you guys with my camera phone videos and my teas. You guys might have thought I was a scholarly type, and my tattoos, right? But I believe that our sixth sense is picking up vibes from people, picking up nonverbal communication. Now, sometimes we're wrong, okay? Sometimes we're very wrong, and I'll give you an example. Like, sometimes somebody will be staring at you, right? Somebody will be staring, and as men, when somebody stares at us, okay, we automatically go into kind of aggression mode, because eye contact is sort of a form of aggression sometimes. At least to men, that's like one of the first things that we're gonna revert to, is this person is staring at me, which is rude, okay? Which is rude, but sometimes, like I said, I'll find out this person is just looking because maybe they want to say hi, or maybe they're just interested. Maybe people just look, okay? Even I do it. If somebody looks interesting to me, I'll just look like, what are they doing? Like, what's going on? Okay, it's human nature, right? But, you know, the point is that sometimes we get the wrong vibe, but a lot of times our intuition is right, okay? Our gut feeling, or the vibe that we're getting off of somebody, it's valid, okay? It is valid. So you get these kind of weird, sort of passive aggressive, sort of very hostile vibes from some of these chicks. And all that is these chicks, unlike the ones that are kind of more shy, and this is gonna piss a lot of people off, it's gonna piss a lot of chicks off, but I don't give a damn. The first one is gonna be more in her feminine, okay? The first one is gonna be more in her feminine kind of energy, the one that's shy, okay? The one that's a little more shy, more reserved, right? And like I said, there's differences between, I'm gonna make him chase me and play hard to get, which is bullshit, guys. Don't even deal with those type of chicks. They're probably not even that interested in you to begin with, right? And a chick that's just shy because she doesn't want to get rejected. That's the whole thing. She doesn't want to get rejected, because women take rejection way more harshly than we do. As men, we probably get rejected like like, yeah, that's another rejection, whatever, you know. But the chicks that are kind of, they do this whole passive aggressive, act like a douchebag type of thing, are ones that are more masculine, okay? They're more in their masculine type of competitive energy. So they do this whole, I'm gonna pretend like I don't see him and have my nose turned up and act tough around him and stuff. Some of them do this whole acting tough around you. It's unfortunate. A lot of these chicks think that they have to compete with men, right? Or think they can compete with men. It's like apples and oranges, dog. You competing against a man is like you automatically lose, because men and women are two different, dynamics. The male, masculine and feminine are two different dynamics. So apple can't compete with an orange, going back to the apple and orange, because they're not the same fucking thing, okay? Not saying that men and women are that different. We're all humans, but you get what I'm saying. The energies are different. So they're gonna do that type of stuff. And the reason that they're doing that is really and truly because they kind of see you as out of their league. And as weird as that sounds, it's like a defense mechanism, right? Going back to the whole thing of when people stare at you, sometimes dudes will mean mug you, but really and truly, they're not mean mugging you because they think they're tougher than you. They're mean mugging you because they think you're tougher than them, right? It's a defense mechanism, because no one is gonna treat you with hostility or hate if they don't see something in you that's a little intimidating. You guys get what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, like, if you're in a scenario and a guy is sizing you up, why the fuck would he size you up if you look insignificant, right? or if you were a guy that he didn't perceive as having any type of value, he wouldn't. It's like, not to be mean, but like a kid that's like nerdy and like, you know, kind of meek, and he's shy and hunched over and he's avoiding eye contact. You're not gonna size him up, because for what? Okay, so it's kind of the same thing with chicks that think that you're out of their league, sort of a defense mechanism. And it does happen, guys. It does happen, and it doesn't happen with too many guys. That's why we don't hear too much about it. That's why it's not really spoken about too much, because every time you hear about out of their league, the first person you revert to, or the first idea that you revert to, isn't a woman thinking a man is out of her league. You think a woman is out of the man's league, right? That's the first thing. We've all seen it in movies. We've all seen it in cartoons. You know, the whole message has been displayed and broadcasted through video, through movies, and even music and stuff like that. A lot of these songs talk about how a chick is out of their league and she's just so beautiful, and oh my God, she's just a princess angel. But you don't really hear about, you know, maybe, I know there's maybe one or two songs. The ones that I could call off top is the Alicia Keys one, You Don't Know My Name. And I was like, this is like the only song I could think of a woman thinking a man is out of her league. Because, you know, that's like one of my favorite fucking songs. Like Alicia Keys, she's singing about how she notices this guy come in her restaurant and she wants to say something and she thinks he's attractive. You know, this is real. And she was candid and honest enough to actually admit that shit. You know what I'm talking about? She was honest. She was actually honest and candid enough to make a whole damn song about it. But you don't really see this in person like that, because like I said, a lot of chicks, they were taught that the man is supposed to be the one to be intimidated by her, even though she knows damn well that she's intimidated by him. She still has it in her mind. See, that's the power of ideology. She still has it in her mind that he's the one that needs to be more intimidated by her. So that's why she can't really show that she's like shy or skittish around him, right? So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Peace.